the internet has evolved way since it was first introduced. At first, internet is only accessible to a handful of people who have the knowledge and equipment to go online. While at this time, internet is available to billions of people around the world thanks to the development of undersea cables that would allow to connect continents. Approximately 97 data communications between countries done through the sea cable communication system. Until 2020, already installed more than 235 subsea cable systems in the world, with its total length, which is about 997,000 kilometers. This marine cable installation using a ship, usually wires laid on the seabed, but in areas with high marine activity. The cable will be placed inside the trench using special tools. Internet cable now, made of optical fiber, which is a type of cable made of very fine glass. Not like copper wires. Fiber optic cable transmits data in the form of light. This speed is up to 10 gigabytes per second. While the copper cable transmit data in the form of electrical signals. Average copper-based internet connection speeds up to 300 Mbps. To make fiber optic cable, manufacturers will prepare the material is solid glass rod. It's called free foam, made of glass cup. Triform created by a chemical process. This is called a modified chemical vapor deposition, which is abbreviated as MCVD. End of cup glass, mounted on lead machine or special lathe. In this process, 2 cups will be mounted on the lead machine. The 2 cups will be rotated by the lathe, then heated with a torch, which comes from hydrogen, as well as the oxygen. With the heating, the 2 ends of the cup glass to be white, which indicates that this temperature has reached 2000 degrees centigrade. Then the 2 cups will be one. In this MCVD process, chemicals will also be put, and with extremely hot temperatures, those chemicals will form a layer inside. The layer, waveguide profile, also known as index refractive profile, and this coating is indispensable for laser-based communication systems. Later, the layer will melt into glass, which is the core of a fiber optic cable, while the remaining cups will wrap the optical fiber. After becoming a freeform will then be cut using a torch until it comes apart into 2 halves. Next, cut freeform, then converted to optical fiber. This process is called fiber drop. Freeform inserted into furnished graphics, then heated to 2000 degrees centigrade to soften the ends of the freeform. Then the gravitational force. Freeform glass tip maker will go all the way down. Strands of glass that first fell will be cut off. Then the remaining pieces of strand put into a series, which serves to control the diameter of optical fiber to keep it stable at 125 micrometer diameter. Glass strands allowed to descend down past the refrigeration chamber, which contains water and helium gas. Fibers coming out of the cooling chamber, it will have room temperature. Then the optical fiber will go to a drum to be rolled. But before, optical fiber will be tested to make sure the quality. Next, this fiber optic thread, given a layer of petroleum jelly wrapper, then put into stranding machine. For this selection process, some fiber optic thread twisted into one strand. These optical fibers also given another layer like a suitcase, polycarbonate cup, and others to become a fiber optic cable, which is ready to be installed under the sea. Fiber optic cable installed under the sea has a thickness between 7–10 cm. even though the cable has a large diameter. But the core of the fiber optic cable is very small. The thick part are the layers of wrapping. Fiber coated with steel straps, which serves to protect the core from outside damage, like an earthquake, sea water pressure, and so on. Other than that, fiber optic cable is also protected with copper. The copper also serves as a power conduit used to control repeaters, which is shaped like a torpedo. Optical fiber cable has a very high transmission speed. By using light refraction, light source used usually is laser or LED. Because the submarine cable has a long 2,000s of kilometers, then in the course of an optical signal, there will usually be light attenuation along the optical cable. Therefore, if the transmission distance is far, usually every 80 kilometers, repeater will be installed, which serves to amplify light waves. And the repeater, powered through copper cladding, which is in the optical cable. Even though the optical cable underwater has many protective layers, but there are times when this optical cable needs repair. When there's damage, the officers will receive a notification of the broken fiber optic cable. After that, a ship will use a dynamic positioning system to make it easier to track the location of the damaged cable. After it was discovered, tool called cutting grapnel lowered to the seafloor to lift and cut damaged wires. After it was cut in half, then the grapnel holding will be lowered to pick up the first piece of cable. Then the second cut of the cable will also be taken and placed on the ship for the splicing process. On board the ship, the officers use fusion splash, the method used to connect fiber cables to each other by utilizing tools that use heat. When all fiber optic cables are connected to one, then the fiber optic cable will be lowered again to the bottom of the sea.